Hey everybody, it's Duncan. Welcome back to Free Legal Information Friday. A couple weeks ago we were talking about what is my personal injury case worth. And I was talking about the different kinds of damages that a person could have in their personal injury case. One of the trickiest ones is pain and suffering damages. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about that and explain how in Ontario we calculate pain and suffering. Some people watching this may have heard of multi-million-dollar pain and suffering awards from cases from the US. Those do not exist here. In Canada, about 50 years ago, Supreme Court of Canada said the most that anyone can get for pain and suffering, so even a quadriplegic, even a brain-injured child, that sort of thing, 50 years ago, Supreme Court of Canada said the most you can get is 100 grand for pain and suffering. Now, with inflation, that's about 400 grand nowadays, but still, that's the upper limit. 400 grand is the most anyone can get for their pain and suffering in Canada, in Ontario. How do we determine where different people's injuries fall? If 400 grand is the most serious injury, quadriplegia, paraplegia, bad brain injuries, and a dollar on the other end of the scale is maybe, if I stub my toe or something like that, everything else is in between. So in order to figure out what a person's individual pain and suffering is worth, we have to look at what people with similar injuries, knowing that no two people are exactly the same, but what people with similar injuries have received from courts in cases before. So what either a judge or a jury has awarded a person for a similar injury. So if the person's main injury is something like a broken ankle, we would look at cases involving broken ankles and what those people have received at trial before. Everyone's a little bit different. There's always going to be a range in cases and what they're going to say for what a certain injury is worth, but that's how we tell. We have this upper limit that no one can really go above unless the Supreme Court changes their mind someday, which they should, because 400 grand is way too low for quadriplegia, paraplegia, bad brain injury, and everything else is something below that. And we have to look at what similar injuries have received from previous judges, previous juries. So that's how we tell what pain and suffering is worth in Ontario. Thanks. See you again next time.